Hi, this is probably gonna sound like I'm a cold bitch to some of you guys, but not sorry to say this, but Houston in the Texas area does not affect me in any way because one, I have never visited the state, and for two, I don't have any family or relatives. So I guess in a way, I'm sad that it happened, but it doesn't affect me in any way because I know nobody there, and I have no connection to that city except maybe the fact that I wear boots. So it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And the only time I've ever seen Texas is watching the show The Real World, too. So that, I guess I'm sort of saying I'm sad it happened, but I really don't care that it happened in a way, or I just have no personal connections, if that makes sense. So it doesn't sink in for me, or it doesn't affect me, if that makes sense. But there is one story that did affect me, and that is the story of the person that was in the van, and there was 6 relatives, and one survived. That affected me in a way because it's survival guilt. He's probably going to have survival guilt. And usually when a friend, and he probably blames himself in some way for not saving him. That's the same thing that happened when 2 of my friends committed suicide. You feel blamed that you couldn't help them, or you feel like it should have been you that died, not them in a way. So you have survivor guilt in a way. So that story did affect me. Or I felt connection sort of to that person. Anyways, I'm dealing with my own problems in a way. Like adrenaline tendinitis. I did a triathlon about 2 months ago, and this has been giving me problems for 2 months. Finally found out what was wrong. My legs and knees were swollen, and this recovery is 4 to 6 weeks, they say. So, anyways, and my soul wants to deadlift, but my foot is telling me not to. And I know I didn't rupture it because I can stand on my tippy toes. And that's one way to tell if you ruptured it. So anyways, the doctor diagnosed me wrong. But I finally found out what's wrong. And maybe when I go back to my primary care, she'll suggest physical therapy. Because I don't know if I'm ever going to do a triathlon again after this. So anyways, that's, and how else is life? Life is grand besides my foot issue and not being able to deadlift and squat, and possibly not being able to do the 2 weightlifting competitions I was going to do this year. Because this is no longer the early stages of this injury. This is 2 months should have been fixed and should have been diagnosed right 2 months ago. And anyways, that, and then injury, most people only think there's a physical thing about injuries. There's a mental thing. Because you say, is this thing ever going to get over? Because it gets better, and then it gets worse, and then you're like, why am I in so much pain? Am I going to have surgery, or is this going to get bad enough for surgery? How long should I not work out? There's like all these other questions. And like you want to do stuff, like do runs, but you can't, or you want to go ride your bikes a long ways like you used to be. So it changes. And there's a mental factor when a hurricane hits too. Like, they have to rebuild, and they're gonna be like, how long is the floodwaters going to go down and stuff. And I never really dealt with a hurricane. I mean, we evacuated during Ivan. So, and by the time we got back to my parents' house, the one I was living at, the only thing that happened was there was no power. So I've never had to deal with a hurricane, and I really never really had to. There was a flood a couple years ago in my town, but my street didn't get flooded. So I guess is what I'm saying is I don't have a connection to really a hurricane either. Because my town has never really been underwater either, as big as Texas has. Now, if New Orleans got hit, like when Katrina hit, I have a connection to that because I went there when I was in 5th grade. So I have a connection there. Anyways, for me to be affected by something, I have to have a deep connection. Or I have to visit the place, or I would have to know somebody from there. Anyways, doesn't mean I don't pray for the people in Houston. It doesn't mean that I'm so cold-hearted that I wished it upon them. I don't wish harm upon anybody. All I'm saying is, it doesn't affect me mentally or physically too much that a hurricane hit Texas, Houston. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about that.